men gonna hate this, and I'm okay with that. The more we hold off on what y'all usually want, that thing, the more y'all do anyways. He's finding value not only different in women, but watch this, in himself. Because I only get to experience the parts of you that you've already given you. And so a man who only sees value in a woman being just sex is a man who doesn't see value in himself. It is
As the adulterer and the sexual immoral. We are not to be sexual immoral and just sleeping with everybody when we're dating and just smashing and passing. God's going to judge the immoral. God designed marriage to protect the woman, to protect the man. It was designed that way so we don't have this dating culture that we have now that has caused all these sort of issues that have caused heart problems, have caused people not even been able to stay into marriage because their mind, they've seen so many other people naked, they've seen so many other people do all these acrobats and all these sort of things sexually, from pornography and all these things, that when we get in relationships or when we're dating, we don't see the forest for the trees. And it's just a distortion of the enemy of the family, a distortion of the enemy of the heart and love. And it's so distorted because we're doing things outside of God's will. Welcome back, guys, to the King Josiah TV podcast, where this show was created to educate, promote, and influence the kingdom of Jesus Christ in this world. I am your host, Josiah. And before we get started, guys, if you're new here, I need you to do me a huge favor. Go ahead and smash the subscribe button right below. If you're listening on YouTube, if you're listening audibly on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, go and give me that follow button. All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into today's show.
Already flexing my God and all of his authority. Practice was preaching purity, priority. Can't conform to it, even if maturity. Choose to go that way, God has been restoring me. They grilling the boy, cause I won't let them George forming me. Try to put me in a box, I got off the ropes, I won't let them corner me. God has been warning me, telling me, tell his people ain't no room for lukewarming me. Order me, Lord, it be your will, it never was mine. Like Amazon Prime, his turnaround time around prayer.
All right. We are going to talk about Club Shay Shay. He had Dr. Shannon. I might be saying her name wrong. She's talking about men waiting for sex, or women having men wait to have sex with them. And I think that this is something that, of course, is a argument and something that people go back and forth on women holding out pertaining to sex. And how does this relate biblically? How can we look at this perspective and say, okay, how biblically should women and men be conducting themselves in the dating space? How should we be walking about this? And pertaining to as well, where does God actually say sex should happen? When we listen to this video, we're going to get a worldly perspective, but in the same conversation, in this worldly perspective that we're about to get from, and I believe she's some sort of relationship counselor and things like that. I'm not going to speak on whether how much you can credit her based on her own personal life. I won't speak on that, but she does bring some valid points up. And so we're going to talk about where sex should actually happen and where that's actually going to flourish and how we should conduct ourselves prior to marriage and prior to courting somebody and going through those things. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up here.
okay. Don't be messy right now. You know real well.
Mm-hmm.
And he takes care of his mother.
Yeah.
And so she's there often.
Mm-hmm.
My first time, him flying me to see him. He says, baby, do you want to stay here knowing mom's is here? Or would you rather us get a room somewhere else?
Yeah. You like get a room.
I said, stay there.
Huh? You can't do that with the mom in the house. You can't do that.
First of all, I'm not doing nothing my first time flying out.
Oh, okay.
Because that's casual sex.
Okay, I didn't know. Okay, my bad.
No.
That's very presumptuous for me. I'm sorry.
Yes, that's okay. Take it back.
Okay, I'll take it. I'm sorry. I thought this was,
But this is my thing. It was a test on his behalf for me, but it also gave me transparency. Because he didn't just say, my mom's here, I take care of my mom, let me just put us in a room. Because I would have said no to the trip. He welcomed me to his home and gave me an option. Because he's letting me know, ain't no woman here. You more than welcome. So I came and stayed with him. And
I'm going to let her continue to talk here. But I think this is something that, again, women, you have to keep in mind that when you're dating and you're getting involved with a guy, you have to have your standards set up. Most of these men out here, they're trying to get in as soon as possible. They're trying to test the cow as soon as possible. And that's the thing that the world has taught us, that you need to test it out. We need to get in and get out. And most men, once they get what they want, they're going to be out. So, and also on the man side, I think that that's something that this society, we got to get away from, this quick sex, this quick get in and get out. We got to smash. If we don't have sex with her, then, you know, something's wrong. No, when you get with a woman, your job is to court her, get to know her, test and see if this is someone that you want to spend your life with. And then once you make that decision, then walk into marriage with that person. Jumping into the bed with somebody, you're just putting more bodies on you, more residual damage and soul ties. But
Mom, and had a great time. A great time. And let me go further. You said, Mom, is there any grown ass man your age taking care of your mama? She's not in the room next to you, baby. And your house better be big enough to where she in another quarter or
but
half.
I feel bad.
But I'm just saying, do you get what I mean?
I do.
If a man is not inviting you to his home, he is not thinking about making you his home. That's just what it is. Why am I flying out the country or state to see you for the weekend or two? Fly me in when we are at your house. And after I visit at your house a couple times, we could talk about going to Florida or Miami or Costa Rica or Colombia. Until then, I don't want to take a trip with you. I'm good. Because I have to have clarity that I'm not wasting my time. See, I have money. I can spend my own.
Wow.
But I need to make sure that my time, which I don't get back,
Right.
that I can't clock in or get another speaking event back, is not wasted. And I don't want to be in a situation where I've allowed you to deceive me. Because every woman knows when a man moves a certain way, her spirit does something. Women just decide to go against it because they want that trip, they want that bag, they want that experience. We have to stop wanting experiences at the expense of our dignity, at the expense of our respect, at the expense of our self-love. Absolutely not. And I also find to women, and men gonna hate this, and I'm okay with that, the more we hold off on what y'all usually want, that thing, the more y'all do anyways. The more y'all give, and the more y'all do. The only men who won't do more are the men who only want that.
And that's 100% true. And I'll just speak for for men in this conversation. I can't speak for all men, but most men, you make a decision within the first few seconds of seeing a woman, whether you want to sleep with her, whether you want to marry her, or whether you want to potentially date this person long term. We make that decision. And when we see a woman as somebody that we just want to sleep with, that guy is going to pursue her in that manner. If she doesn't give it up in that period of time, most general men are done. Once they get what they want, or whether you don't give it up, a woman, that's an easy way. And I definitely agree. Women should always gauge it like that. Make them hold out. I'm not encouraging you to have sex before marriage. I don't believe that you should be doing that, but hold that off. Don't have that first on the platter. Don't have that something that they have first easy dibs and access to. If you hold them out, you're going to see the true men that are there for you. You're going to see the men that truly are there to try to build a relationship with you that may actually be a potential husband to you or a long-term partner. But if you give it up right away, a lot of these men, they lose. I don't know if it's a guy thing, but we tend to lose attention. Most men tend to lose infatuation with you when they get that. I do believe that God designed that as something that it was not supposed to be something that happens until after we have full commitment and that woman has security.
So if you want to vet them out anyway, sis, vet them out and watch them show up. A man should penetrate your heart and your mind before he ever penetrates your body. Then you will really experience the true essence of an orgasm anyways. I've had men say to me, which besides the best friend, the guy I just mentioned about flying out to his home with the mom, he was one of them. If I can't marry you, I don't even want to touch your body. Now that's a man who isn't a sucker. That's a man who is of age, a mature age, who is ready to have a wife. And he is no longer so superficial in his thinking that the best thing about a woman is her sex.
And that's something as men we got to be real about. Are we willing to have that grown conversation that you're still thinking like a teenager? You're still thinking like a little boy when that's the only thing that your mind is stuck on is I just got to have sex with this woman. I just got to get in her pants. No, your brain should be beyond that. Your brain should be beyond it. We should be at the point now where you're like, okay, no, I'm looking for a wife. I'm looking for someone to spend the rest of my life with. And I'm not going to devalue myself and just give myself away. Because I'm sorry, dude, you have value just like a woman has value. And value that woman enough to realize that she is a daughter of God, that she has value, that you're not gonna devalue her to just her physical attributes and what she can display physically. And again, I think this goes back to when it comes to how God designed sex. God designed intimacy to be within a holy marriage. Anything outside of that is considered sinful. Um, and so I think that, when we're in these dating spaces, we have to be conscious enough of these people that are out here that, and to be honest, they are not mature enough. They are not the individuals that are looking for anything long term. So when you take sex off the table, it's very easy for you to see who's who.
He's finding value not only different in women, but watch this, in himself. Because I only get to experience the parts of you that you've already given you.
Mm-hmm.
And so a man who only sees value in a woman being just sex is a man who doesn't see value in himself. It is just, we are just.
I so much agree with this. I may not agree with a lot of things she says and a lot of things she talks about, but I agree with this. You have to be whole within yourself as a man before you're connecting with a woman. You have to be able to know who you are, because if you don't know who you are, if you're not whole within yourself, you're not secure within yourself, you will create so much damage to any woman that you come in contact with because you're emotionally not there. You're in so many different spaces. You're not whole as a person. So two halves cannot make a whole. When two halves come together, you're just trauma bonding, if anything else, and creating, again, more damage for both parties. And I think as men, as the leaders, we've got to be wise enough to be like, yo, I need to figure out my own personal emotional baggage and things that I've got going on, even spiritually, and be spiritually mature enough to be the priest of my home, to be able to have the right woman in my life, to do that. So
Mirrors to each other. I see value in myself. That's why casually you cannot make love to my body. Because I don't see value in casual sex. I don't see value in an orgasm without being connected to you, without being committed to you, without having access to your home or to who you are or what you do. I don't see value in that. An orgasm doesn't do it for me, but your heart does, your commitment does, your time does, right? Mm-hmm. Your thoughtfulness.
Yes.
That's what I want.
And that's what God created. God created sex to be that way. God created sex to have that, for a woman to have security, for a woman to have someone that values her heart, for someone that actually values and sees her body as beautiful as it needs to, and not somebody that's just subjecting her for sexual and their own pleasure. That's why God designed sex for marriage, which again, marriage should be honored by all, and marriage should be kept. Marriage kept the bed pure. For God will judge the adulterer and the sexual immoral. I'm going to read that again. Marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure. For God will judge the adulterer and the sexual immoral. We are not to be sexual immoral and just sleeping with everybody when we're dating and just smashing and passing. God's going to judge the immoral. God designed marriage to protect the woman, to protect the man. It was designed that way, so we don't have this dating culture that we have now that has caused all these sort of issues that have caused heart problems, have caused people not even been able to stay into marriage because their mind, they've seen so many other people naked, they've seen so many other people do all these acrobats and all these sort of things sexually, from pornography and all these things, that when we get in relationships or when we're dating, we don't see the forest for the trees. And it's just a distortion of the enemy of the family, a distortion of the enemy of the heart and love. And it's so distorted because we're doing things outside of God's will. When we do things outside of God's will, we get damage, we get issues. We get the state that, honestly, I think that we're in today's world. So I just want to speak to some things that just kind of speak to when it comes to how sex should be and how it should be enjoyed within marriage and how God created the beauty of it. rejoice in the wife of your youth. Be intoxicated in her love always. The context of this verse is sexual joy is celebrated. It's a good thing. Sex is good, but only with one spouse, only with who you're married to. It's not something that should be done because you're dating somebody. It should not be done with somebody just because y'all met each other and you're both attracted. You both think you know each other is hot. No, sex is for marriage. And at the end of the day, baseline, when we take it outside of marriage, we create heart problems. We create insecurities. We create hurt. You know, I could go down the list all day long. So I just want to end this with, be wiser when you're dating. Let's take sex off the table and let's not put it on the front table. And let's be able to see who's truly there for us and who truly wants to date us long term and actually build something with us. Well, all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and wrap up today's podcast. This is episode 42 of the King Josiah TV podcast, guys. I know we talked about a lot of controversial subjects today, things that may start arguments and disagreements. Guys, if you've got your take on this, you've got a different perspective, I want you to drop it in the comments. I want you to talk to me, argue back with me. I don't mind the conversation. Guys, again, if you're listening on YouTube, go ahead and smash the subscribe button. If you haven't liked the video already, give me a like. If you're listening audibly on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, go ahead and give me that follow button. We'll see you guys next week.
But my salvation on me like it's a helmet. The wages to sin is death, for send you to hell quick. Wanted to be all about me, God, I was selfish. I was rebellious, but you didn't